listen, I've been following, your whole thing since you started the Clue from the beginning, and look, the bottom line is that you guys are actual true fans of the Clue and Head PE and Live Urban and all these bands. And, for what it's worth, Jared, you have to be able to look at yourself and make light of yourself every once in a while. Back in the day, those videos of Jared in the blue and white onesie jumpsuit doing those dance moves, I mean, yeah, of course it's funny. It's hilarious. Anybody's going to laugh at that. But that doesn't mean that's who he is now. That was what he was. He should embrace it and be like, you know what? But, obviously there's no way in hell he's going to ever play the Clue, or B, probably, do an interview with you or anything like that. But if it wasn't for you guys, nobody would know about the Clue. And on top of that, as far as the Live Urban stuff, all that music was gone. It wasn't for 17 years, I hadn't even heard my own record. 100% of the credit goes to Roel van Rossum in the Netherlands, in Holland.
Absolutely.
If it wasn't for Roel, and you know who Roel is because he does your videos and stuff, and he's a very big part of the Clue now, but if it wasn't for him, the only thing I would have are a few cassette tapes of some rehearsals.
Right.
But Roel is responsible for... I mean, that guy should have been a private investigator, or he's got so much talent. I mean, it's crazy how that happened, because 17 years later, I'm on Facebook, and I just get a message from this dude in the Netherlands. I would get a lot of messages on Facebook, because once I joined Facebook, I had my first and last name there, and then I would get random messages from people like, are you the guitar player for Live Urban Sexx Tribe? I was like, yeah, and then they'd be like, well, what happened? And it's such a long story. So I had to change my name on Facebook. That's why I don't have my last name on there.
Right.
But one message that got through where I decided to tell this guy the story happened to be Roel, and that was about 10 years ago or something. And I told him, I was like, look, I wish I could have that music, because that band was a really great band, and those songs should be heard. And he's like, well, where is the music? I said, well, Warner Brothers has the master reels. We own the rights to the music. The copyright, so Warner Brothers can't do anything with it, but they have the recordings. I said the only other person that might have the recordings is Brian Christian, and I have no way of getting a hold of him. I tried to search online. I couldn't find him. And somehow Roel found some YouTube video of Brian Christian doing like a seminar on audio recording. He stopped producing, and he started doing seminars and working for some seminar company on how to teach people on how to produce.
Yeah.
He got Brian's email address, and he's like, here it is. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Oh, my
gosh.
gosh.
I sent Brian a really nice email. Brian and I always got along because Brian was from Chicago. He had that really heavy Chicago accent, and he talked like this. So I got along well with him. And I sent him this email that said, Brian, look, I know things didn't turn out the way we had all hoped. Jared got really personally offended by the contract. I know we could have negotiated. If you could find it in your heart to get me a copy of that album, it would mean the world to me, because I have nothing to show for Live Urban Sexx Tribe. And he sent me this email back, which was just mind-blowing. It was a really nice email, first of all. And then he said, Neel, it's just crazy that after 17 years you would email me this today, because last week my wife gave me until this Friday to clean out that spare room because she wants to use it as an art studio. And in that room I had boxes of old recordings that I kept, the ones that I was going to keep, and boxes of ones that I was going to throw in the dumpster. And yours was in the ones in the dumpster because nobody'd ever heard of it, nothing was happening with it. He's like, if you had sent this email 3 days from now, your tracks would have been lost forever. Can you believe that 17 years later? He went back in there, he got them out of that box, he went down to a place, got them transferred from reel-to-reel to audio CD. He drove to my work. We sat in his SUV on his stereo system, and me and him sat there and listened to the whole record. I was literally had tears in my eyes because I hadn't heard myself play since I was 24 years old, and that was the first time I heard the Live Urban stuff. And since then, Roel has been able to help me get stuff from Sergio. You know, Sergio has always said, hey, I'll get you stuff on, but he's so busy with the companies that he owns, he never got around to it.
No doubt.
But his wife, Erin, finally sent me some the videos that they had.
Yeah.
And now everything we have, with the exception of the demo with Another Day and everything on it, everything we have is all because of what Roel van Rossum was able to accomplish. And he's still doing more. He's still getting magazines and articles and write-ups for Live Urban. He made all the videos. He did all the lyric videos. He did him and a guy named Brennan Edmonds. Brennan is in Canada. He does a lot of our graphic stuff. You know, those two guys, if it wasn't for them, the Live Urban stuff would be lost and forgotten.
Yeah, dude, it's wild, man. That's why we brought him onto the Clue page. Like I told the Clue missioner, I was like, dude, we need to, he just started making stuff for us, and he made, I don't know if you've seen it, the Shotgun Love video. That video.
Dude, it's so good.
that
So good.
video is the essence of the 80s. Like, I've shared that video on almost every single 80s music page because I'm like, listen, you can share Wham and you can share that stuff is child's play compared to the Clue Shotgun Love with that video.
Yeah.
I was blown away because we actually worked on that together. And I think the first one he made was Do You Remember? And that blew my mind.
Yeah.
That took that song, a song that I wasn't too crazy about. It took it to another level, and it made, just with whatever he used, that footage he used, it added so much to it. And then, I want to make another one. What do you want to do? And I'm like, do Shotgun Love. And I was like, I want it to be like a homage to the 80s TV footage. Yeah. And that's why he's a part of the page, because I can throw things his way and he understands the way we think. And dude, the guy's a mastermind, and I cannot wait to meet him one day. He's going to be in the States. Yeah. He's going to be in Washington.
You should come out, because I'm going to go out there. He's going to be in D.C. in August. But yeah, getting back on what you were saying, to touch on that, he has this uncanny ability to be able to just find different footage or memes or something that goes perfectly along with lyrics. He's got an incredible sense of humor. He's got a very intelligent. I don't know if you saw the World We Live In lyric video that he did. That was the first one he ever did for Live Urban. And that, along with Another Day, is my favorite song, because the lyrics in the World We Live In, not only are the lyrics just amazingly beautiful lyrics that Jared wrote, but the song itself is just a badass song. It's the definition of Live Urban, because it has the funky verses and then it goes to the heavy, hard chorus. But the crazy thing about that video is that Jared wrote those lyrics in 1992 or 1993. And it's all about the political unrest and racism and all the stuff that's wrong with the world. And Roel took that song, and unfortunately we don't have a studio recording of it, so he just used the live recording version from the Melting Pot Festival, which is not the greatest audio, but he used that recording, and then he made a lyric video. I think it was about 2 years ago. He put memes and footage of Trump and Hillary Clinton and all the ISIS shit and everything going on in the world today, and the lyrics that Jared wrote in 1992, 1993 still pertain to exactly the same problems that are going on in the world, and the memes he used, it's remarkable.
What goes around comes around, and that's it's mind-blowing. That's, like I said, that's why he's the Clue-European ambassador. That's why he's part of the page, because I can trust him to take care of these podcasts for me and funny video stuff. I mean, I love having the guy a part of the page, and he's total ace when it comes to he's probably, beside the Clue Missioner and I, easily the biggest contributor to the page.
Oh, yeah. And it's so funny, because him and I feel like he's like my brother from another mother now.
Oh, right.
We've been friends for like 9 years. We talk all the time, via instant messaging or Facebook Messenger. We send each other Christmas gifts from Holland, and I send stuff to his wife and his kid. And but we've never met each other. It's been 9-10 years. And so next year, or next August, is going to be the first time that I'm going to meet him and his wife and his son Jasper. And so it's pretty amazing, the friendship that we've created. And not only that, he's obviously first and foremost a big fan of Head PE. Yeah. But because of Head PE, he was such a big fan of Head PE, he wanted to find out what Jared did before. And that's how he got interested in the Live Urban stuff, and then the Clue stuff and Hotbox and so forth. And he's just as important in this role as the rest of us are in promoting all this stuff.
Yeah, just like Faith No More, he came right out of nowhere.